always be a controversial topic, whether or not we like it. With the laws passed in America, some people have been able to express their love for each other more knowingly. Still, a big majority of gay people live in the fear of being discriminated against whenever they would go out in public. Imagine if you were out in public with your spouse and suddenly you were shooed away from a store just because of your sexuality. While the issue of labeling people as straight, bisexual, or gay is still around, being told you cannot shop in a place because of your sexuality is just plain out wrong. No one should have to live in fear no matter what. Thousands of people in the United States may feel ashamed to love who they love and fear their families wouldn't accept them, or their world would seemingly just fall apart. How anyone identifies themselves is not a choice, it's just how you're born. And I'm first going to be talking about why gay rights were enforced. And this whole issue began in Hawaii in 1993. And before, the rights were only to acceptance, if it was even with that, since there was still a huge religious movement at the time. Now, the Hawaiian Supreme Court ruled that laws prohibiting same-sex couples from marrying was just, it violated the state constitutional equal protection rights. But they could not allow them to be married if they could find compelling reasons for such the discrimination. And before 1993, several states had laws stating that marriage was only between a man and a woman. And now, to the present day of 2016, Massachusetts was the first state to allow same-sex rights in 2003. And same-sex marriage was approved on June 24th, 2015. And Guam was the first U.S. territory to also allow same-sex marriage. Now, there are very different views on gay rights, and James Isaac is an online author for Daily Beast, and he points out that even with the laws, many people continue to discriminate. And he was quoted saying, being told by the government clerk to go to the next town over to obtain your marriage license because she won't issue them to same-sex couples means we don't have the full marriage equality that other people may have. And the Chief Justice, John Roberts, wrote that the decision had nothing to do with the Constitution. If you are among the many Americans of whatever sexual orientation who favor expanding same-sex marriage, by all means celebrate today's decision. Celebrate the achievement of a desired goal. Celebrate the opportunity for a new expression of commitment to a partner. Celebrate the availability of new benefits, but do not celebrate the Constitution, for it had nothing to do with it. Now, the enforcement, it was not being enforced as many laws were, which resulted in public attention for many individuals, such as Lexi Luger and Rone Antel from the Standing Rock Reservation in North Dakota. They found that they would not be treated the same if they were in public with each other, and after getting engaged and being on WJAZ, Lexi Luger said, Sitting Bull, who was the chief of the Lakota people, he prophesied that in our generation, from him, that seventh generation would revolutionize Native people, and Rone and I are a part of that seventh generation. And President Obama said after we got our bill enforced, that this decision affirms what millions of Americans already believe in their hearts. When all Americans are treated as equal, we are all more free, which could not be any more contradicted. And now I'd like to thank Natasha Hager, Abby Barnick, and Martin Raby for helping the issue of gay rights enforcement to the fullest extent that it could be. While there will still continue to be discrimination in the world, more people are more on the side of equality instead of just beating people down just because of how they were born. And it shows the world is slowly becoming more accepting instead of just staying in the old mindset like they were back these previous. Now, my outlook for the future. With gay rights now enforced in the United States, I would like to enforce the gay rights all over the world as much as I could. And this picture shows the status on gay rights currently. So like the light pink states and countries, such as the United States, are where the acts are legal. But the darker pink states, such as over here, the homosexual acts can be punishable by death. And now it is 2016, and this shouldn't have even been an issue in the first place. But many people like to push their opinions on other people just for the sake of they were right. While this issue was not one of pushing our own views on other people, but instead working for everyone to be equal, we were trying to just help people no matter what. If you would not discriminate someone because of their religion, it would not be the same if you would just discriminate someone because of their sexual orientation. Everyone is born the way they are, and no matter what, you can't change the mindset of your brain.